Hey everyone, MeltingMan234 here, and welcome to the next installment of Forgotten Media's Oz Month. When it comes to classic stories being retold or reimagined, The Wizard of Oz is no stranger to this. There have been a handful of projects like Sci-Fi's Tin Man or the short-lived Emerald City TV series. So to end Oz Month, I'll be covering what I think is the weirdest reimagining of The Wizard of Oz, and that is The Wonderful Galaxy of Oz. That's right, it's The Wizard of Oz in space! Now this is interesting, as some people might remember it as being this weird movie you see at a movie rental store. Heck, just looking at this cover art on the VHS makes me think I've seen it before. But you might be surprised that this was originally a TV series that aired in Japan from October 5th, 1992 through April 4th, 1993. So when they decided to bring it over to America, they basically edited the series into a feature-length film. I have recently found the original episodic series, but it's in a different language and there's no option to watch it with English subtitles. So for this video, I'm just going to stick to the movie version. The film starts off with the short introduction to Dorothy, Toto, Aunt Em, Uncle Henry, and their robot assistant named Chopper. New Kansas, yeah, it's not regular Kansas, it's New Kansas, is set in the year 2060, according to most sources I've looked at. A year where everything is space age, and little girls are old enough to drive. A fierce storm blows in, and Dorothy chases after Toto, who runs into an old spaceship. Chopper tries to bring them back to Aunt Em and Uncle Henry, but the spaceship that they're in suddenly begins to sink as a massive earthquake happens. With no other choice, Dorothy launches the spaceship to escape the storm. But they only manage to find themselves out of the fire and into the frying pan, as their ship is now consumed by a black hole. And apparently in this universe, getting sucked into a black hole means getting blasted into another galaxy. So they somehow survive getting blasted to this unknown planet, but now their ship is out of fuel. They soon meet Plant Man, who's basically this version's Scarecrow, some kind of mutant plant creature that was experimented by a wicked witch. He tries to help them out, but only ends up blowing up the spaceship by accident, so now they're stuck with this space buggy that they drive around in. And along the way, they also meet Lion Man, yeah, their version of the Cowardly Lion. And so Dorothy, Plant Man, Chopper, and Lion Man begin their quest to find the Wizard of Oz to help them out. Yeah, it's kind of weird that the character is called the Wizard of Oz, even though it's established in the movie that he's a scientist. Also, I'm kind of disappointed that the robot isn't called Metal Man. Then I would have thrown in a Mega Man joke into this review. But I do find it neat that his name is Chopper, most likely as a nod to the Tin Man's real name from the original Oz books. So yeah, the characters have the same wants and desires as you'd expect. Dorothy wants to go home, Plant Man wants some brains, Chopper wants a heart and have feelings, and Lion Man wants some real courage. Anyway, Dorothy and her team have their first encounter with the evil villain Gloomhilda, as she sends out a giant robot dinosaur thing that hilariously looks like something out of a cheap toy robot commercial. Well, she used it to try and take revenge on what Dorothy did to her space fleet. Yeah, when her spaceship came crashing down, apparently the black hole also sucked up a bunch of asteroids and debris that ended up destroying half of her air fleet. So the robot chases Dorothy to a cliff, but she manages to get the drop on him when her balloon suit inflates, causing her to float, while the robot falls to its doom. Yeah, I forgot to mention that it's established near the beginning that the suit she's wearing is called a balloon suit. And I guess it's some kind of a safety suit that avoids you from having nasty falls. But you'll most likely forget that it does anything because it's only there just for show. I imagine the suit is used more often in the original episodic format, but in this movie version, she only uses it once. In fact, now that I think about it, why didn't Dorothy just use the balloon suit to carry her friends and float off to meet the Wizard of Oz in the Emerald City? It probably would have been a lot faster to get there rather than traveling around in that space buggy. Anyway, Oz's commanding officer finds them, thanks them for helping out against Gloomhilda, and takes them to the Emerald City to meet Oz. And it's what you'd usually expect in most Oz adaptations. They want their wishes granted, Oz says that they should come back tomorrow or some other time, Dorothy and her friends grow impatient and accuse him if he really is a wizard, and then the wizard tries to kill them all. Well, that's different. Well, suddenly, the great and powerful Oz starts acting weird, and Dorothy notices an open door. So she goes in and finds out that the man operating the big Oz head is actually not the real Wizard of Oz, but instead it's his son. Yeah, I'm not sure what his name is supposed to be. I've heard sources say that his name is supposed to be Moji, but I swear in the English dub they keep calling him Mosey. Well, anyway, they soon find out that the real Oz is off on a quest to find the Rainbow Crystal, a magical artifact that can grant anyone's dream come true, and wants to get it before Gloomhilda does. So now begins a new quest for Dorothy and her friends, as they travel in a spaceship called the Rainbow Road. Wonder if they took that idea from Walt Disney's canceled Oz project. Of course, Gloomhilda soon gets word of this and plans to use the Rainbow Crystal to revive her mother, the Wicked Witch of the West. Yeah, the witch in this version is some spirit trapped in Gloomhilda's necklace, so I guess you could say Gloomy is the Witch of the East in this version. So a lot of stuff happens. They find the wreckage of Dr. Oz's ship, leading to Mosey thinking that his father was killed by Gloomhilda. They are visited by a crystal nymph who tells them that the only way to obtain the crystal's power is having a pure of heart or something. And they reach the planet that the crystal is located on, with Gloomhilda hot on their tail. Mosey, obsessed with revenge, decides to mosey along and try to fight Gloomhilda, which doesn't end so well. But hey, they find Dr. Oz alive and well now, so yeah, the whole emotional baggage for Mosey ended pretty quickly there. They managed to find the Rainbow Crystal, only for Gloomhilda to show up and take it. It's rather confusing on how they explain the whole deal with the crystal. Dorothy and her friends try to grab it, but it just goes right through them. Then the Witch of the West says something like, seeing it as an object in order to grab it. Then she possesses Gloomhilda's arm and manages to grab the crystal and resurrect herself. So, I don't know, I guess spirits are the only ones that can actually grab the crystal. Dorothy and her friends tried to board Gloomhilda's ship and get the crystal back, but the Witch of the West shows up and tries to destroy them all. And then suddenly Gloomhilda shows up, taking back the crystal, and she's all like, you know, I don't want to be the bad guy anymore. I want to be the good guy now. Yeah, that sort of came out of nowhere. And then she gets turned to stone. Well, so much for that. And this leads into a crazy climax. Dorothy and her friends are being chased around by the witch in the form of a fireball and manage to escape with the rainbow crystal, but then she shows up at the Emerald City as some giant dinosaur monster thingy. But thanks to the rainbow crystal's power being channeled by the power of wishes, I guess, the witch is destroyed, Gloomhilda is restored, and Dorothy and her friends get their wishes, ending with Dorothy, Toto, and Chopper being reunited with Aunt Em and Uncle Henry in New Kansas. And that concludes the wonderful galaxy of Oz, and, well, what can I say? It's definitely the most out there reimagining of the story. There are some issues with the story, with its pacing, with certain elements happening so fast or sudden jump cuts, but it's most likely due to how this is re-editing episodes into a movie. The voice dubbing in the English dub is hilariously bad and awkward. Dr. Oz sounds like he's trying to talk in this New Jersey accent. Chopper sounds like C-3PO. Plantman is some guy trying to do some goofy surfer dude voice. And Mosey sounds like someone doing a bad Rainbow Dash impersonation. But the award for the most bad dubbing in this film would have to be the Witch of the West, because despite her evil design, she has the most over-the-top voice in this film. But hey, this film is anything but boring, with lots of battleships fighting each other and giant monsters showing up. Yeah, it's nice. I do like some of the designs for the characters. Dorothy's design is honestly how I would imagine a more anime-looking version of the character would look like. And the opening song that plays at the beginning of the film is also nice. It does make me wonder what the original episodic version of Galaxy of Oz was. Probably a lot more better paced. But until I find a version that has English subtitles, that episodic version will just have to remain a mystery to me. This film's version isn't that great, but it's more of a it's bad that it's good kind of film. It has been released on DVD and VHS. I don't think it's been released on any streaming services, but I got some kicks in watching it. I definitely recommend it if you're in the mood for a good laugh, or if you want to see a more sci-fi version of The Wizard of Oz and wondered what that would look like. And that concludes Forgotten Media's Oz Month. It was a lot of work doing this 4 episodes in 1 month thing, but I had a lot of fun working on it. Maybe next year I'll do another Oz Month theme, since there's still plenty of other lesser known Oz topics to talk about. But until then, this is Melting Man 234 signing out.